Hey guys, welcome to week 36 of 52 and hashtag realtor life. And I wanted to talk to you this week about cutting out the middleman. I like to give you guys scenarios and trends that I'm seeing out and about. And I'm noticing this more and more, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why that may not be such a good thing to do, but I'm noticing it more and more. So what's happening is because a lot of you guys have access to the internet, where a very high percentage of buyers and sellers are researching before they've even chosen their agent. They're feeling that if they can go directly to the listing agent, that by cutting out the middleman, they're going to save money. That's understandable, but what I want to explore with you is the nuances of things that may come your way that are not going to be so pleasant. So let's use a $500,000 home, for example, and the commission generally, let's say, is 3% for each side. This is just general numbers, okay? So 3% of 500,000 is a $15,000 commission. So theoretically, consumers are saying, gee, if I go right to the agent directly, the agent's going to get both sides of the deal. They're going to make more money, and then they can give me a discount and discount the price of the house. And is that possible? Sure. Is it wise? No. So I've done dual agency before, where I have represented both buyer and seller in a house. I don't like to do them. First of all, it's not worth the extra money, because in the end, somebody always feels as if they haven't been fairly represented. No matter how diplomatic I can use my business, inevitably it'll be really, really hard for me to not completely protect my buyer separately and or my seller separately. So if somebody comes to me directly, and I had this happen yesterday, where the person was like, hey, if I use you, and I said, I don't really want to do that. I don't like to do that. I would turn that person over to another agent. I want them to have independent representation so they can have a neutral party, negotiate on their part. Buying and selling a home is a very, very emotional and can be a very difficult, exciting, horrible, and wonderful time. So you really, really want the opportunity to have someone that's really, really got your back. So if you're thinking of doing that to save a buck, and in the grand scheme of real estate, you guys, if you get a 1%, savings, I promise you that somewhere in this deal, you're not going to save that much. You also can't, force the sellers to discount their price either. The seller knows what the market value is. The seller's goal is to get the highest price for their home. It's nothing to do with the fact that if you come in as a buyer and you can use the agent to do both sides, you're really digging into the pocket of the agent and making some assumptions that it's going to happen your way. I had another guy this week. This is going to be a little bit of a long video. I had another guy this week that called me about listing his property, and he said, well, this is the same guy that called about what I'm telling you about, same scenario. Oh, and if I do this with you, then you can list my house, but if you don't list it in 45 days, you can pay me $5,000. And I was like, no, thank you though. So I try to bring a really good understanding to what we do for a living. And I know there's a lot of misnomers out there. I know a lot of people think they know what we make and how we work, but there's a lot more to the process than anybody even understands. Some of you do. But so if you're trying to cut out the middleman and save a few dollars, I just really discourage you from doing that. You're going to do it probably anyway, and that's okay. But I do want you to know that it may not be so pleasant in the end. All right, so that is all I've got this week for hashtag Realtor Life. As always, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, please send them my way, and I'll take great care of them. I'll talk to you next week for who knows what, week 37 of 52, hashtag Realtor Life. Have a great weekend.